Hello, everyone. It's Coach Mo here for another Coach Mo Live Motivational Monday. If you're hearing this live, we are here on a beautiful Monday. And hello to my director of coaching, Milijana de Mori. Nice to see you today, Milijana. Looking good.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Great to see you. Ladies, when you're here, please put in the comments that you're here so we know you're here. If you're a client, we're going to totally make a shout out. If you're new to my work, I am Coach Mo Fall, the founder and the creator of the Kick-Ass Career Workshop, where we help you bring your soul back to life so you can land your dream job. You know, one of the big misgivings about work and careers is that it all depends on strategy. And if you know anything about my work, you know that we go into the soul first, because there's no great strategy if you don't feel awesome. And if you're not shining from within. Hello, Joan and Maria, Judith, Anna, Kim. Hey there to Judith and Joan and Kim, all beautiful clients. Totally rocking their lives, their worlds, and really owning their soul's power. And hello to Jennifer. Nice to see you, ladies, as well. Keep telling us that you're here, Miliana, and I love to know that you're here. We're going to talk about boundaries and how a lack of boundaries shows up in your career. And like all things, Miliana, one's soul power determines whether we are operating with proper boundaries. But I don't love the word boundaries because it's as if there's this external thing that is up protecting us. And when our soul's power is where we are feeling powerful from within, we don't need that protection because we have the light and the power coming from within ourselves. Let's talk a little bit about actually setting boundaries and how that can actually be disempowering, and why it is that we even find ourselves setting boundaries, the need to set them. Let's start with there. The need to set boundaries is coming from a place that you and I is a thing that we coach our clients through all the time. Let's elaborate on that for
Mm.
these lovely women.
That's an amazing topic because, as you say, Mo, we hear it all the time, and we mainly hear the lack of boundaries. And it sounds like saying yes to everything, to being the perfect career woman, the perfect partner, the perfect daughter, mother, sister.
Right.
It is having like a plate which is maybe this size, and then you pack like 25 meals onto one little plate, and then you feel bad because you can't, chew everything. And so it really comes, we actually dive deep into why we do that. And we also dive into how to master a new way of, let's call it setting boundaries, or it could be self-respect, it could be self-appreciation, it could be allowing other people to also learn self-responsibility and us not being an enabler. It
Right.
could be by setting boundaries, it's self-valuing rather than
Right.
moving into a breakdown, or even being in hospital because there's like a burnout and any other health issues.
Right. Right. So when we are not setting boundaries, we're trying to be the queen of perfectionism. We're trying to be the queen of doing everything. We're trying to prove our worth. And the only way we're executing on that is by doing more out here. And then the only way to protect ourselves from doing that is to put an exterior sort of fake boundary out there and either shut people off or shut things down that has a diminishing energy. And so when we set a boundary, we are literally shutting off energy transfer, which is why it's established in the first place, because too much energy is going out. We have too much outflow. And as energetic beings, and ladies, if you've been our clients, you understand at a deep level what we are talking about with this. But in many respects, we are always transferring energy in and out. We're bringing energy from the outside world in through us. and we are sending it out, in, out, in, out. However, most women travel the world because of how we were socialized and brought up, and perhaps some unmet needs we have that we're pushing energy out all the time. And if so, if you're coming home, or actually now that everyone's working from home, but if you're finishing your day totally depleted, not just tired, but depleted, as if you gave all of your energy out that day, I call it donating blood. Not that I'm against donating blood, but I think people get the point. When you're living life donating blood, donating your energy, you're going to be depleted, and your soul needs light and energy that you will pull from the divine. Then you will create from within. And if you don't have enough, you're going to be depleted. And once you get depleted, the only way you know how to reserve your energy is to create a boundary external to you, so that you stop donating your energy out. And that doesn't solve the problem.
I mean, and I can give a beautiful example. One of my best friends really wanted to donate blood.
Uh-huh.
And she was very small. Like, she's a small woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to donate blood. And it's like, what's your height and what's your body weight? And like, we can't take blood from you. You are just too small, like genetics, too small.
Uh-huh.
And what that means is, when you are energetically depleted, you're not supposed to donate blood.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And the health professionals, if you're anemic, which they do through a pinprick, and if your blood doesn't fall down in this solution that they test your anemia with, if your blood doesn't have enough red blood cells or iron, they don't want you to give blood either. I wish we had a test for that for energy.
Yeah.
Because chances are every woman we ever talk to,
we do
would not pass. Right. Yes, it's called a clarity call. And thank you for bringing that up. So for those of you who are my clients, I would love for you to talk about how life-changing that clarity call was for you. And for those of you who are not our clients, you might want to consider finding better avenues for increasing your soul's energy and booking yourself a complimentary career clarity call. Those calls are our way of diagnosing whether your energy is depleted. If you have no more left, if you feel like you're on the verge of no more left, and that you have to put up external boundaries to protect your energy, whether that be at home or at work, you're probably not going to be able to sustain that. And it needs more of a permanent fix. When you book a complimentary career clarity call, we're going to dive into what's going on with your career and actually diagnose it from the energetic level as well as the practical level. So if you're not getting promotions, if you're not getting moved forward, if you're not getting paid the amount that you are worth in the marketplace, you're not exerting your full power in the world. And so the beginning of that is to bring your soul to life and to get your inner light going. And then we put strategies in place to help you move forward to fix the problem. But you can't just fix the external problem. It's always bigger than that. So mofall.com/live clarity gets you that opportunity to talk to one of my coaches about what's really going on. And yes, Kim White, so life-changing 3 years ago. And Kim, if I'm correct, I think you are now in your second dream job in that 3-year period. And many women wouldn't even have had one job movement in those 3 years. And you have had two, because you have received the best coaching on how to land a dream job. Thank you very much. And you did so well in executing on our strategies. And number two is you had everything you needed for the second move. And because you keep tuning in and keeping your vibration up and being inspired and doing your daily work and rituals of staying awesome. So now you have tools for a lifetime. You know, Milijana, you and I always talk about this as coaches. It's our purpose in life to help our clients have the tools to fish for a lifetime, not just that we feed them one fish dish. And before you go on about that, I just want to acknowledge Judith Walsh, and continues to be my lifeline. This tribe of women support is the building cornerstone. 2 years of growth and more to grow. LOL. Yes, Judith, 2 years. Wow. It's been really awesome to watch you continue to grow and develop and get yourself back after what I think was a job traumatic situation for you. And really, really awesome to see the continuation. You know, Milijana, I want to get you to share some thoughts here. Our 12-week workshop, we get real outcomes for our ladies. The energetic work is a lifetime, and we don't always know how much energetic work there is to do for each woman who comes forward, but we have all the tools for a lifetime of continued growth. And Kim White's trajectory that she just shared here,
Mm.
it is what a normal healthy career looks like. It looks like one great job, and then it looks like progression,
Mhm.
progression. Just like I know you're big health and a professional athlete in your past, really into all of that, which is awesome. Anything that we do when we progress, we have literal progress. And if we're not progressing, we are declining. So pop in a little bit, Milijana, about the whole idea of our soul getting built up on the inside, so we don't have to set artificial boundaries.
Yeah. Oh, I like the artificial boundaries. It does happen more naturally. One thing that I love asking our soon-to-be grads, where we
Yeah.
really celebrate the progress, is they share the celebrations when as they show up at the calls to receive coaching, because it's a two-way street. It's like they show up, they receive coaching, and they implement. And like, wow, now that you have reached all your welcome call goals and more, if someone told you at your clarity call, like this is what you can be, feel, and do in 12 weeks, would you believe them? And everybody's like, no way. And maybe a few swear words also in between. No F way. And so what happens is, as you are allowing yourself by using the tools that we share, and again, you keep them for life, and we add more new stuff in the modules, as you continue to step into your soul power, as you continue to grow, as you continue to remember that, wow, what if I am meant to do great things in the world? And a process of unlearning and letting things go. And we're not meant to do this alone. And Mo, you shared something earlier today when we were meeting about the best athletes have coaches and a team. And if you want to be the best in the world, you have to let go of the notion, the belief that I got to do it myself. If you look at any of your heroes in any industry area, you start realizing that they had a team or a support system. And so why not treat yourself to the same? Meaning that, hang on, if everybody that is successful has a team or team of coaches and support, why not me? And that's what we really see as we help you unlearn what is not the truth, meaning limiting self-beliefs, stories that have kept you like, well, I have to work hard. Oh, so for me to earn more, that means that I have to work more. And then we tell you like, not necessarily so.
Right.
So there will be a lot of kind of unfolding and unlearning. And what happens is we just see so much more joy and inner peace and freedom and better relationship with children, partners, inspiration. I mean, just the other week we had a fantastic call, and so many women are just interviewing and feeling in the power and able to say, I never felt as confident on an interview. It was like I felt equal and I knew my worth.
Right. Versus feeling desperate, or that they were in like a begging situation if they're on an interview. And that's what it's like to be in your soul's truth and in your soul's power. It feels that you are naturally being you, and you are naturally being powerful in every situation. You know, so many women grow up with thinking that power has to look like showing up like a man and showing up demanding things. That's what power looks like. And it's really easy to get that idea of what power looks like. And that's not what power looks like from a woman. From a woman, power is stability and certainty and connection, creativity, ideas. That's what it looks like. And women, when we get our power, we can be forceful in the world when we need to be. But you, as a female on this planet,
Mm.
don't have to act like a male on this planet in order to be powerful. And this is one of the things that I think women shy away from. It is not mimicking what it looks like to be a man. We all did that in the 90s. If you were working in the 1990s, that's what we were. Uh, that was the evolution of females being powerful at work, was being more like men. And now, with the evolution of human society as to where we are now, we are in the time where female energy and female power is coming forward in bigger and bigger ways. And it is stability, creativity, it is integrating multiple things. It is collaboration and cooperation. When women collaborate and cooperate, we don't do it because it's a nice idea. We do it because it's instinctually natural for women to do that. And it is the types of power that are being called forward now in the human experience. Right now is the time for women's natural power to be needed and necessary and being called forward. So one of the great things we have, Milijana, in the work that we do is to help women rise to the occasion of what the world is calling us to. The world is calling women forward in our power, in our ways of being. And it doesn't look like male power. It looks like our female power.
Mhm.
And it only gets authenticated and aligned when our soul is the source of it, not the external world. We don't put up boundaries to protect our soul. We don't need it. When our soul is lit up and powerful from within, we don't need external artificial boundaries. So, ladies, if you feel like having to say no and having to set boundaries with certain people is the only way to protect your energy, you're doing it all wrong. And I
It-
get that that seems like the way to do it, but it's not the best, highest version of you. And I love Judith. Thank you. And Care Bear is here as well. Carrie, really, really excellent progress and wonderful stuff you did in the workshop. Lovely seeing you here. Judith says, thank you so much for keeping us on track of celebrating and being thankful during this past year. Yes, indeed. What a team. Would never have known the blessings from gaining back my power after the onslaught of distraction by others if you
Mm.
weren't here, if you weren't always here. Okay. EAWOFM. Miliana, can you tell everyone who doesn't know what that means
Mm.
exactly what that little insight secret handshake means for our kick-ass ladies?
Absolutely. Everything always works out for me. It's a new mental state, emotional state affirmation
Mhm,
that we encourage our women to start leaning into.
mhm.
Like, what if everything does work out for me? Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. So, really, kind of like a beautiful statement that starts changing our soul signature or our energetic signature.
Mhm. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, there was another Kim who was one of our clients over 3 years ago, I believe. She heard that statement on a Facebook post or something that I did, and she said that's not true. What about the people who have tragedy or who die young or things like that? And you have no idea someone else's soul trajectory. So even though if someone dies, it might hurt you and be painful. And we have, God bless it, a few of our clients who've had deaths over the past month or so in their families. Um, you aren't responsible for deciphering their soul's trajectory, and it does hurt, and it is worthy of grieving when someone close to us dies, or when we hear a story about someone who shouldn't have died about something. Their soul's trajectory is not our business. That's our divine partner's business. And your soul's trajectory is being laid out and unfolded for you. So, by definition of how the universe propels us forward, everything is always working out for me because everything is there for my growth. Matter of fact, that's the theme of my new book that I'm writing, that
Yay.
let everyone know that I'm writing more of an inspirational book, not so much an instructional manual, but that will come later. I am so committed to the fact that every single soul on this planet, no matter what is going on in our lives, it is for us. It is for our growth. It is for our highest understanding, even when we make mistakes. And I've certainly made lots of mistakes. As a matter of fact, when I end my day, especially Milijana, when we finish a big coaching call, our coaching calls can be long and lots of experiences that we're helping our clients through. And we don't rush those calls. And, from time to time, they go a little bit longer than we want. But what we get to experience is helping women through their stumbling blocks faster than they would do on their own. And after those calls, I am so grateful that I lived through so many difficulties in my illustrious yet successful and, really high level career. It wasn't easy what I did in my career. What it was is essential for me to move through. And everything always worked out for me because I was always learning and growing. And the beauty of that in our lives, when we truly understand that, is to take the lesson in front of us rather than to defend ourselves against it, rather than to deny it, or rather than to create a boundary to protect ourselves from it. And that's really the essence of these fake boundaries that we feel we may have to put in place to protect ourselves from our lesson. Ooh, why in the world would we protect ourselves from our lesson?
And can we really?
No, because it's pounding through those barriers, isn't it?
It totally does. It totally does. But what about alternative of like, bring it on? Bring it on. What's the lesson that when I learn it, I'm become stronger in self-mastery, in emotional mastery, in, strengthening my character.
Right.
It's like, come on, if we like, everybody has strategies in their life. Mo, you come from a lot of trauma. I come from a lot of tragedy and a lot of trauma as well.
Right.
And now looking back, it did happen for us. Mm-hmm. Even though at that very moment it felt very deep and dark. But when you come to the other side, and it's our decision, what am I going to do with this? Will I allow this to break me down, or will I ask for help? What if everything that's happening is actually the opportunity to, like, I don't have to do it alone. Who out there has walked the same path before me and has become stronger?
Yes, indeed. As the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl championship last night, the coach at the celebration said, I knew my team needed a leader. And so when Tom Brady became available as the quarterback for our team, who better than someone who's been to the Super Bowl before 6 times to be able to lead this team there? And, sometimes that is what we need. Not sometimes, we always. I have coaches who have been past where I want to go. You have coaches and support. We all have the next move ahead coaching. And so we are in the mode of saying human experience requires a level of expertise beyond where I'm going, because I'm moving fast in the world. Every human being right now is moving faster than human beings have ever moved. The trajectory of human growth and evolution is faster than ever. And so it's no surprise that coaching and spiritual mentors and things like that have been on the rise, because human beings need that sort of help. We are not built for what's going on right now. It's a different world and a different experience as a human than what our parents went through. The generation before us didn't have this, and the generation after us will have needs for more accelerated growth. And it will look different for them. And we are constantly, as humans, evolving, and everything's working out for our human consciousness expansion as well. If we look at the obstacles and overreact to the obstacles, we will never get through the obstacle. And let that be your mic drop quote for the day, everyone who's listening here, because that came from a place of deep truth. When we focus on the obstacle as being the problem, we will never get to the next evolution of ourself. Therefore, everything's always working out for me. Everything in my path is for my highest good. And if you protect yourself from the lesson, Milijana, it will come stronger, won't it? The lesson will come full. It'll get stronger and more painful, because the only way the universe has to get our attention is through pain. That's the only thing that provokes us human beings to do something different, is if we're in pain. Unfortunately, now when you get evolved to a certain level, you realize you don't need pain to stimulate growth. You'll just keep growing because it's part of your commitment to being a human being. And that's what we do with our daily ritual. All of the ladies who have been in our workshop have a daily ritual to keep propelling them forward. They don't need pain to move them forward. Kim White didn't need pain of her existing job to propel her into crafting and negotiating a new job in her current company. She just had a desire for more and knew that her higher self was being called forward, so she crafted something better. That's what life is all about. And ladies, if you've been listening to this Facebook Live through this point, this is the key to life right here. And I'm not saying that out of boasting. I'm saying that because coming to show up for you today has been a big truth. And Milijana, I'm glad that you have joined us. Let's give a couple of more truth bombs and wrap this topic up for our ladies who are here. We are wanting to encourage you not to consider boundaries as essential or needed, but rather the internal work so that you do not need boundaries. Milijana, a couple of points for our ladies before we wrap up today.
It is really about learning to know what your core needs are, your core wants, and then being able to communicate that fearlessly, or even afraid, still communicating that, because that's how true, authentic confidence grows. It's not going to be like bang, overnight success. It is through leaning into masterful communication, crucial conversation, how to negotiate like a master, instead of being in a complainer world and like, this is not working for me, and why is this, and the world is unfair, and it's a big boys club, and just like blame. It's like, who do I need to become to master this?
Yes.
Because we have a huge amount of evidence that women can be on top of the game, be incredible, powerful leaders, are fulfilled in every area of their life. And so what is possible is, starting with taking, inventory and responsibility of where you are. Meaning, like, wherever you are right now in the moment is a side effect of your history, of your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions. And just look at your life. Are you happy? Are you fulfilled?
Right.
If not, now is the time to change something. Because here's what I knew. I leaned into coaching because I knew that I have come as far as I could by myself. And I still wasn't fulfilled. I still wasn't on top of my game. So I was like, all right, what do people that are fulfilled and happy and successful do? Oh, they have a support system. They have coaches. As Judith said, do it afraid, bring your soul to life. And that means, like, leaning into it. And that means that by doing that, a side effect will be you'll have more inner power, inner certainty. You communicate with more gusto, with more passion, and you don't take things personally. It's just like,
Right.
Isn't it interesting?
Right.
That is not my ideal outcome. So how can I shift it? So again, out of the blame story into full, powerful responsibility, it also can feel graceful and not judgmental. And so that I think that's a skill. I think that's a development of our personality. And we can notice kind of that energetic gain as, like, it's, even if there is a dip, you'll get energetic tools, you get mental tools, you get, strategies, how to get out of it quicker.
Right.
And it really is self-mastery, and it feels good and it feels joyful. And a side effect of that is you are being seen and heard and promoted because you are the person that people want to be around.
Yes.
You're the person that people want to be led
Right.
by.
Right. And I want to emphasize something you just said. Having self-mastery doesn't mean you're not going to have problems or challenges.
Not at all.
It means that you are going to show up in a resourceful state and not let that take you down, but let it take you up. And that's why everything always works out for me is one of our mantras in our workshop, because your best, highest self is self-mastery and being resourceful no matter what. And that is what actually then beckons challenges forward, because it is calling us forward into our highest sense of self. And that's our theme for this week for our coaching calls, isn't it, Milijana? Our higher awareness and our higher self. So we're going to wrap up this beautiful conversation. I want to bring you more to my Coach Mo Live Facebook Lives, because I get so much great energy collaborating with you on these, Milijana, as we do, and we're coaching together and just working together. It's really a beautiful collaboration. Ladies who are clients, thank you so much for being here. And it is my pleasure, it is our pleasure to continue to inspire you. What's next? What's next? What's next? Because even though we have a 12-week workshop, it starts and stops. You, as a human being, don't start and stop. And that's why we continue to support you both in these forums and also in the grad group, in the grad calls. Don't forget, last Saturday of the month is the grad call. And I'm so glad that you joined in today to join us. You need to hear about boundaries to taking control of where I want to go. Beautiful. We love it. We really, really love it.
Yeah. And I want to say, now is the time. We just mentioned the group coaching calls, the weekly hours where we coach you. When you join the workshop, you will really feel that you're not alone and you are in this very positive, almost like a positive vortex of nourished female energy where we celebrate each other, we support each other through celebration, collaboration. And I encourage you, if you can get a call today, book it.
Yeah.
Now absolutely is the time to join the workshop.
Yes. Yes. Usually in any given week, we may have slots a couple of days down the road, but there is no better day than today to declare who you must be in the world going forward, and to declare, I'm done making the same mistakes, or I'm done being stuck, or I'm done not having life work out for me. So again, Milijana, thank you very much. Clients who have been here, thank you, ladies, so much. It's a pleasure to serve you. And for those of you who are not clients, take the plunge into a complimentary career clarity call at mofall.com/live clarity. This is Coach Mo. I'm here with my director of coaching, Coach Milijana de Mori. Nice to see you again. Peace be with you, Milijana, this week, and keep rocking it. And ladies, have a fantastic week. Make a commitment off of this Facebook Live to do something empowering for yourself this week that is in alignment with your higher self. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.